Okay, good afternoon to all of you. Let's start our next lecture from the unit second. Okay, last time we have discussed the how to solve the problem related with the n queens, and in that we have seen the real generalization of the n queens as a solution to the 4 queens problem using the constraint satisfaction approach. Okay. So today also we'll discuss some of the things related with the constraint satisfaction. Yes, Somase. Yes, Somase Mayur, what is your name? Somase, any problem?
नाही सर चुकून झालं सर सॉरी.
Oh, okay. So today also we'll discuss some of the things related with the constraint satisfaction and some of the types of the constraint satisfaction problems or the approach, and what is the backtracking approach, and what are its disadvantages, and how we can recover from the disadvantages of the backtracking. So these are some contents that today we'll discuss. So first we'll discuss what exactly is the need of constraint satisfaction approach. Okay, last time we have solved the n queens problem. Okay, that is the 4 queens problem using the constraint satisfaction approach. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is the need of the constraint satisfaction approach? If you don't use the constraint satisfaction approach, what will be the effect on the solution, and what will be the effect on the particular problem to be get solved? Now here I have drawn, this is a problem that last time we have solved. Okay, and related to that problem, here I have drawn some tree. Yes, all of you can observe.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what I want to ask you, if you don't use the constraint satisfaction approach, then how will solve the n queens problem, or how will solve the 4 queens problem? Will it be a soluble, or if it is a soluble, then what we have to perform? What will be its complexity? How its tree will be look like? Just like I have drawn here the tree of the previous problem that we have solved, that is the 4 queens problem. Understood? Now what I want to ask you, what if we don't use the constraint satisfaction approach? What will be its effect? Yes. In short, what is the need of the constraint satisfaction approach? Think related with the n queens problem.
So in NQ problem, there are some rules. That's why we support the satisfaction.
What rules are there?
There are rules are the one queen are not in same row
That are
or
the
same
constraint or the rules, correct?
Yes.
What I am asking, if you don't use the constraint satisfaction, then the rule will come there. No. If you are, why the rules are coming there? Because you are using which approach? Constraint satisfaction. The constraints are coming there because you are using the constraint satisfaction approach. My question is what? If you don't use the constraint satisfaction approach, how it will affect on the solution of problem? That is my question. If you don't use the constraint satisfaction approach, the tree to solve this particular problem, the tree that will be formed after solving this particular problem will be same like this, or different? If you use the constraint satisfaction approach and if you don't use the constraint satisfaction approach. You have to think like there are the no constraint available and you have to solve the 4 queens problem. You have to place the queen in such a way.
सर ते backtracking नाही होणार ना तिकडे.
Backtracking होणार नाही. Okay, then
तर मग त्यांचं ते अटॅक होईल एकमेकांवर.
then पण कुठंतरी जाऊन आपण तो प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह करू की नाही?
हो सॉल्व्ह होईल प्रॉब्लेम.
सॉल्व्ह होईल बरोबर आहे. पण मग त्याची ट्री अशीच असेल का याच्यापेक्षा मोठी कॉम्प्लेक्स असेल? कॉम्प्लेक्स असेल ना, बरोबर ना? Time, if you don't use the constraint, that is a part of the constraint satisfaction approach, the time required to solve that problem will be less or more? More. How? Yes. Because there you are not using any kind of rules to place the queens. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you will go on placing the queens randomly. Understood? And there are the chances of getting the solution, but the complexity of that particular solution will be huge. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The tree that will form, that will be also very huge, because in that case you have to try all the possible situation there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Here, because of applying the constraint, what benefit we are getting?
We know that the one row have one queen and one column.
We are applying some constraint for the benefit of how we can solve the problem within some less amount of time. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We are applying the constraint, and applying that constraint reduces the number of possible options that we have to check. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We are applying the constraint and some rules that giving us some kind of direction to solve the problem.
Yes.
That is a very important statement. Applying the constraint, giving us some kind of direction to solve that problem. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And that is nothing, that is the need of the constraint satisfaction approach. You got the point. You got the point why there is a need of the constraint satisfaction approach.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So such kind of question might be asked. So that's why we just discussed this point, why there is a need of the constraint satisfaction. Because constraint satisfaction help us to solve such kind of problem. If you don't apply the constraint, then it is very difficult to solve that kind of problems. But if you apply the constraint, if you apply some rules, then we restrict the complexity of that problem and we can get the solution within some finite set of, within some finite number of steps. And that example last time we have still studied, that is the example of 4 queens problem, where we have utilized the which technique? Backtracking technique we have utilized. Okay. Now, today also some sample example we are going to discuss, which is being asked in the exams number of times for the 4 marks or the 2 marks also it can be asked. That is the map coloring problem, which is same like the graph coloring problem that last time we have discussed. Given the map of the some country, okay, and we have given the fixed set of colors, and we have to assign the color to each region of that map in such a way that no two adjacent regions have the same color. That all of you know these things. Okay, same like the graph coloring. But here we have taken the name of the different regions of that country. Okay, name like we have, in short, I have written WA, NT, Q, NSW, V, SA, and T. So these are the regions that we have to color. Got the point? And these are we are referring all these as what? Variables. I hope you are remembering what is meaning by the variable. Okay. And we have the domain given. So what should be the domain? The given required color. Yes or no?
Yes.
So domain we have given the red, green, blue. Using this color, we have to color all this region. And important thing, the constraint is given. What is the constraint given? The adjacent region must have a different color. Okay, got the constraint? What? Adjacent regions must have what? Different color. For example, WA and the NT are the adjacent regions. They are the neighbors of each other. Okay, then they should not have the same color. That I have written like this. Understood this? Constraint understood? Constraint given for
Yes,
the
sir.
map coloring problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, and here a sample solution we have given. So in this example, we have the variable like this, like WA, as I told you, it is the name given to the certain region of country, Australia. So WA stand for the West Australia, then Northern Territory as a NT, Queensland as a Q, then NSW as a New South Wales, and South Australia, SA for the South Australia, and the T for the Tasmania. So these are the regions we have to color, and given value as a part of the domain are nothing but the red, green, blue, and the constraint given the adjacent region must have the different color. Okay. Now here you can see the WA and NT. These are the adjacent to each other. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can we give the same color to this region and this region?
No.
No.
No. Understood. Now, for example, now let's try to okay, color this. Suppose we give the red to this region. Okay, we give the red to this region. Then suppose we give the green here. Can we give the green here?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it is satisfying the constraint. And then we give the suppose red, green, blue here. Can you give the blue here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then what color we should give here now? Is there any color remain?
No.
No. Means our solution getting failure.
Yes.
Then what we have to do?
We can change the color, sir.
Means you need to go back now. You need to backtrack.
Yes, backtrack. Yes.
Understood.
Backtrack. Yes, sir.
So when you are using the constraint satisfaction approach, now it is compulsory required that we have to use the backtracking technique. Understood? Yes or no? We have to use the backtracking technique, because somewhere if it is not possible, somewhere when you are solving that problem, and somewhere it is not possible to get the solution, somewhere there is a confliction occur. Here conflict is occurring here at this point. Yes or no?
Yes.
So when the conflict is occurring at some point, at that point we have to stop, and then we have to go back. You need to backtrack and again check the different option, try to match with the constraint, and then go on until you find the solution. This process continue. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that what I am trying to tell you, we need to utilize the backtracking approach, and because of the utilization of backtracking, what is happening? The time consumption is more. Yes or no?
Yes.
Because when we are reaching to the certain point, and then again we have to go back and check the another part, and like this kind of things. So if you just observe our previous example that we have solved, that is what 4 queens problem we have solved. Now number of times we have backtracked there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So because of that, what is happening? The time consumption is very much. Yes or no? Time consumption is very much. So in order to make the constraint satisfaction approach more efficient, listen carefully. In order to make the constraint satisfaction approach more efficient, what changes we can do? What changes we can do? Do you understand the question? What I am asking, in order to make the constraint satisfaction approach more efficient in the sense you should solve the problem within a less time. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm asking, in order to make the constraint satisfaction approach more efficient, we need to make backtracking technique more efficient. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You are getting my point. You need to make the backtracking technique more efficient in the sense we have to reduce the number of backtrack that we are performing. All of you agree?
Yes, sir.
If you want to increase the efficiency of the constraint satisfaction approach, you need to increase the efficiency of the backtracking approach, and you need to increase the efficiency of the backtracking approach. We need to decrease what? Number of backtrack that we are performing. Yes or no? What we have to decrease? Number of backtrack that we are performing. All of you agree? Yes. When the backtracking efficiency will increase? When the backtracking steps will increase or decrease? Yes. Yes, all of you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
I think we have lost the connection. Okay, that's fine. Okay, all of you can see the screen?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
what I am asking, if you want to increase the efficiency of constraint satisfaction approach, what we have to do? Yes,
Reduce the backtracking, sir.
you need to reduce the number of backtrack that you are performing when you are solving the problem. Then
Yes,
what will happen? The efficiency of that backtracking technique will improve, and directly if the backtracking technique efficiency improve, then definitely the constraint satisfaction approach efficiency will also improve. Understood? So in the next part of this lecture, we are going to see that how this can be done. So here, as we have seen, when you try to solve this problem, we are getting stuck at this point, and again you need to backtrack and try to solve this problem in another way. Suppose now see, now if you choose the rate for the WA, suppose consider we have backtrack now, we consider the rate for the WA, then we consider the green for the NT, okay, and then again we consider the red for the Queensland. Can we consider the red for the Queensland?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then suppose we consider green for the NSW. Can we consider the green for NSW?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then we consider red for the Victoria. Can we give the red here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then
Blue.
we consider the blue for the Southern
South
Australia.
Australia.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is there any conflict that you are observing?
No, sir.
No. Means what? We have reached to the solution. But in order to reach to this solution, you can see we might have to backtrack number of times. Yes or no? Just like after applying the first option, we again backtrack and we try this one. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what we need to improve the backtracking. Now backtracking has to be performed. There is no solution. Okay, if you try to utilize the constraint satisfaction approach, backtracking has to perform. But what we have to do, we have to reduce the number of backtracking steps. Understood? That is nothing but our next point of discussion. Now in this way, this map coloring problem can be get solved. Now one region is remain, that is the Tasmania. Now which color can I give? I can give any color to this because it is not attached to this map. Yes or no? There is no link between this and this part. Yes or no? See here.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can give any color to this particular part. Doesn't matter. Okay. So in this way, you can solve this map coloring problem using the constraint satisfaction approach. That was our first point, where we have discussed why there is a need of the constraint satisfaction approach, and then secondly we have discussed the how to solve the map coloring problem, okay, using the backtracking approach. And now next question is the varieties of the CSP, which simply is nothing but the different types of the constraint satisfaction problem or the approach based on combination of the variables and the domains. Number of times already we have discussed what is meant by the variables and the domains. Now suppose, so based on that, there is a first varieties of CSP, constraint satisfaction problem, that is the discrete variable and the finite domain. So in that discrete variable and the finite domain is also called as the Boolean CSP. What? Boolean CSP. And why it is called the Boolean CSP? Because here the values of the domain that we are going to utilize are Boolean. Why it is called the Boolean CSP? Because the values of the domains are consist of what? The Boolean. Boolean in the sense true or false. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason this is the first type of the constraint satisfaction problem is referred as the discrete variable with the finite domain as a Boolean CSP. Okay, so any variable in the CSP, constraint satisfaction problem, any variable we can set its value either true or either false. No value either than this can be utilized to put in such kind of variables, and that is the reason this kind of CSP is called as the Boolean CSP. Okay. Second, we have the discrete variable and the infinite domain. What? Discrete variables and the infinite domain. Just like here, as we have discussed, the domain values are just the Boolean, like true or false. In case of this second type, discrete variable and the infinite domains values are the integers, mostly integers and the strings. Just like here we have taken. Here the domains values are what? Strings. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So second type is discrete variables and the infinite domain. Infinite domain in the sense we can use the any range of the integer there. You got the point? As a value, we can utilize the any range of the integer starting from the 0 up to the infinite. Understood? So that is the discrete second type, discrete variable and the infinite domains. So any variable in the CSP, you can set it to the range of values of the integer. So these are the main two types of the CSP based on the combination of variable and kind of value that you put in that particular variable, that is the domain. Okay. Next, we have the types of the constraint. Okay, types of the constraint. Here, first type is the unary constraint. Unary in the sense, what do you mean by the unary? Unary, single. So when there is a involvement of the single variable only, when there is a involvement of the single variable, then that comes under the which constraint? Unary constraint. For example, आपण जे आता एक्झाम्पल बघितलं मॅप कलरिंगचं, त्याच्यामध्ये SA वॉज दॅट इज द साऊदर्न ऑस्ट्रेलिया वॉज वन ऑफ आवर व्हेरिएबल. येस ऑर नो? ते व्हेरिएबल आपण जे आता प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह केला त्याच्यामध्ये SA नावाचा एक व्हेरिएबल होता, बरोबर?
हो.
सो इफ यू आर देर इज अ ओनली वन व्हेरिएबल which we are dealing, then that comes under the which constraint? Unary constraint. Okay. When there are the two constraint, there are the two variables. When there are the involvement of the pair of variable, like here we have the SA and the, for example, WA. Then that comes under the which constraint? Binary constraint. When there are the three or more than three. What? When there are the three or more than three variables, that comes under the higher order constraint. So 2 marks question can be asked on this, the varieties of the CSP and the varieties of the constraint. There you can have this simple discussion. Okay. Now let's come to the third point of today, that is the backtracking, which already we have discussed in the example also. And what is backtracking, that also all of you know. What is backtracking is nothing but the general algorithm to find the solution for some computational problem, notably the constraints. For example, just we have utilized the backtracking for which problems? Constraint satisfaction problem. That incrementally build the candidates to the solution, means we go on finding the solution. What? We go on finding the solution, and at certain point we stop. What? At certain point we stop. That is, here I have written, at certain point we abandon a candidate, means at certain point we stop and we backtrack. What we do? And we backtrack. When we backtrack, when we see that at certain point our constraints are not getting satisfied, at that point we do what? We do backtrack. You got the point? Because when you find the conflict at certain point, it means that we cannot get the complete and the valid solution if you still go on moving further. Yes or no? So at the point when you find there is a conflict, at the point when you find our constraints are not getting satisfied, at that point we do what? We do the backtracking. Understood? And this process continue until what? Until we find our final solution. So that is the concept of the backtracking that already we have seen with the example also. Okay, understood this point? Yes, backtracking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now in the example also we've seen that when you try to solve the problem using the constraint satisfaction approach, we start from the initial state, and the initial state is what? The empty assignment. Nothing is assigned to any variable. So that is the initial state. Then when we go on solving the problem, okay, that is with the help of the successor function. Successor function is nothing but what? Assigning the value to unassigned variable that does not conflict with the current assignment. Okay, that is the successor function. Understood? When we go on assigning the value to some unassigned variable, where when you assigning the value to the unassigned variable, it should satisfy what? It should satisfy the constraint. Okay, that is nothing but the successor function, assigning the value to the unassigned variable, and it should not conflict while you making the assignment. And if it is conflicting, then we can say we are failing at that point, and then we need to backtrack. So that is the successor function. And finally the third step is nothing but the checking every time when we are, whether we are reaching to the goal state or not. That is the testing. Okay, when the required assignment is complete. When required assignment will complete? When we can reach to our final state or to our final goal. Okay, so this is the backtracking and different kind of steps that we apply in the backtracking. Now come to the point of the drawbacks of the backtracking, that also we have discussed. What are the drawbacks of the backtracking? One of the major drawback is nothing but backtracking have to perform the redundant work. Now tell me, what do you mean by this? When you use the backtracking technique, you have to perform the redundant work. Means what? What do you mean by the redundant work?
Maybe ते गरजेचं नसेल ते आपण करतो म्हणजे त्या वर्क त्याच्यामध्ये होतं.
Even if something is not required, then also we are doing that, and we are doing that same thing again and again. Got the point? So that is the one of the drawback of the backtracking. Second is what? Second is this. Finally, the basic backtracking algorithm still detect the conflict too late, and it is not possible to detect the conflict before the conflict really occurs. Means what? In short, backtracking algorithm detect the conflict too late. Means what? What do you mean by the detecting the conflict too late? Yes. Conflict means what here? Conflict?
Confusion.
in case of the n-queens problem, conflict occur where when the certain constraint is not satisfying. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what do you mean by the backtracking algorithm detects the conflict too late? This is the one of the drawback of the backtracking. Now, what do you mean by this? Backtracking technique ने आपल्याला conflict होण्याच्या अगोदर माहिती पडतं का? Can we know before occurring the conflict? No, we only come to the know only when you perform certain step. Yes or no?
Yes.
That is the meaning of what the backtracking algorithm detect the conflict too late. Means it is not able to detect the conflict before the conflict really occurs. Constraint satisfy होण्याच्या अगोदर आपल्याला कळायला पाहिजे की conflict पुढच्या स्टेप मध्ये conflict होईल की नाही असं आपल्याला it should happen. Yes or no? पण backtracking यूज करून तसं होतंय का? नाही. आपण actually when we are performing the steps and when we perform the steps and then at the steps when you come to know now two queens are attacking each other, then we are going backtrack, then we are backtracking. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And that is another this disadvantage. The backtracking algorithm still detects the conflict too late. We can't able to detect the problem before it is being occurred. We can't able to detect the particular, what you can say, the conflict as early as possible. And now what we want to do, such kind of drawbacks we need to reduce. We cannot reduce these particular drawbacks completely, but we can reduce them in some sort. We can reduce them in some sort in the sense, how we can reduce it? By reducing the number of backtracks. Number of backtracks that we are performing. If that number of backtracks get reduced, then definitely our backtracking technique efficiency will increase or decrease? Increase. So that is our main aim. Next, that is the point of our discussion. How we can decrease the number of backtracks while you are solving some problem using constraint satisfaction approach. And there are some techniques are there. Okay, there are some techniques using which we can reduce the number of backtracks. Okay, there are some techniques using which we can reduce the number of backtracks. Okay, this is the example that already we have discussed. Suppose we try to assign the color to the different graph regions like these. Okay, and we go on assign the colors. Okay, next steps we assign like these. But okay, and again we go forward. But if you see at this point, is it possible to color this region? This region? No. Means you need to backtrack like this. And what we want, we need to reduce this number of backtracks. That is our main aim, so that the efficiency can be get increased. And related to the same thing, there are some techniques. Okay, and that techniques are depends on what? Now when you are solving the problem, for example n-queens, every time what we are doing, we are trying to put some value in some variable. Yes or no? In case of the n-queens, what was our value and what was our variables? 4 queens problem that we have solved. Our values are what? Domains are what?
Domains. Q.
Q. And the variables are not that 4x4 chessboard. Places of that chessboard. So these techniques are depends on how you assign the value to the different variables. What? These techniques are based on what? How you assign the value to the particular variable, or how you choose the particular variable to assign the values. You got the point? These techniques are what? Based on what? How you assign this value to the variables, or how you choose this variable to assign the values. Okay. So if you decide on this particular point, based on that, there are certain techniques are being developed, okay, which are being referred as techniques to improve the backtracking efficiency. Here you can see improving the backtracking efficiency. Now, as I said, this technique is based on these particular things related with assigning value to some variable. Now, related to this, there are some techniques, okay, and that techniques we are going to discuss in the next lecture, but that techniques is being developed by asking such kind of question. See here, this efficiency increase technique of the backtracking are developed based on asking such kind of question. For example, first question is what? Which variable should be assigned next? What? As I said, these techniques are based on what? Techniques are based on the choice of assignment of value to the variable or choosing the variable for the value. So by answering the such kind of question, there are the techniques are possible that we are going to see next time. But let's see the what questions is there related with the improving the efficiency of the backtracking. So for example, first question that we have here, that is the which variable should be assigned next, means just like we are having this kind of chessboard, okay. Now, if you see the example, we have directly started assigning the variable from the first, yes or no?
Yes, 0 position.
बरोबर ना? तर what, in order to improve the backtracking efficiency, what technique we are having? Before choosing the variable, you must ask question which variable should be assigned next, instead of randomly assigning the value to the variable, or instead of randomly choosing the variable, the question must be asked like what? Which variable should be assigned next, so that the number of backtracks can be reduced. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Which variable
Yes, sir.
we should choose next, so that number of backtracks can be reduced. And based on this question, there are the two techniques are available, okay, that we are going to discuss in the next lecture. In that, first technique is what? Most constrained variable, and second technique is what? Most constraining variable. You just keep in mind this. Tomorrow we are okay. So the question which gives us two techniques. Which question? Which variable we should choose next for assigning the values. Related with this question, there are the two techniques, which are that first is what? Most constrained variable, and second is what? Most constraining variable. Okay, details tomorrow we will discuss. In similar way, second question also gives you the another technique in order to improve the backtracking efficiency. That second question is what? In what order should its value be tried? Now, second question is related with the value. First was related with the variable. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the second question? In what order should its value be tried? For example, now related with the map coloring, how many values we are having?
4x4.
Values related with the map coloring.
Coloring.
How many values we are having? Domain? 3. That was the red,
Yes.
green and blue. Barabar? Question is what? See, the question is what? See, what is the question? Yes?
What order should it be?
In what
value
order
be tried?
should its value be try? म्हणजे काय?
Right.
Means what?
कोणता कलर आधी घ्यायचा?
बरोबर. Which color first will be get choose? Whether red, whether green, or whether blue.
Blue.
Instead of randomly taking the any colors, what the question is saying? You must think which color must be choose first. By keeping in mind what? By keeping in mind what? The backtracking will be get reduced. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
And related with this strategy, we have the technique that is the third, that is the least constraining value. What is that? Least constraining value. Now these techniques will help us in choosing the value among the all possible value from the domain. डोमेन मध्ये ज्या काही व्हॅल्यूज आहेत त्याच्यामधली कुठली व्हॅल्यू चूज करायची, that we can choose with the help of this third technique, that is what? Least constraining value. Okay, that is the third technique which is being we are getting with the help of this question. In what order should its value be tried? So in which order? According to the order being decided by this particular technique, that is the least constraining value. Which variable to choose first? That is based on these two techniques, the most constraining variable, and second is what? First is the most constrained variable, and second is what? Most constraining variable. And last one is there, last question related with the improvement in the efficiency of the backtracking process, that is, can we detect the inevitable failure? Third question is what? Can we detect inevitable failure early? Means what? Inevitable failure.
न माहिती असणारा फेल्युअर.
न माहिती असणारा की जो पुढे जाऊन आपण तिथं फेल होणार आहे. You are getting my point? की when you go on solving the problem, at some point in the future we are going to fail at certain point. You are getting my point? तर तो असा पॉइंट आपल्याला अगोदरच माहिती पडू शकतो का? That is related with this, that is nothing but this third question. And if we know these things, then backtracking steps will be increase or decrease? Decrease. And related to the answer to this question, we have the two strategies: forward checking and constraint propagation. Related to the question, related to the answer to this question, which will improve the backtracking efficiency, we have the two strategies or the technique. First is what? Forward checking, and second is what? Constraint propagation. Understood? So if you ask these three questions and answer to this question are nothing but these 5 techniques that I just told you. First was the most constrained variable, then second is the most constraining variable, third is the least constraining value, fourth is the forward checking, and last is what? Constraint propagation. If these techniques are being followed while you are solving some problem using the constraint satisfaction approach, where there is a utilization of backtracking technique, when you are doing all this, if these 5 techniques are followed, then it can become possible to reduce the number of backtrack, and that is nothing but the improving the efficiency of the backtracking technique. Got the point? Now how these techniques are work, okay, with example that tomorrow we are going to see. Understood? All of you understood these 3 questions, and the answer to these 3 questions are these 5 techniques? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss about these techniques to improve the backtracking efficiency. Okay, so that's it for the today's lecture.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so we are stopping here. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, sir.